Hey guys, Sarah Davison-Tracy coming at ya, kicking off our brand new Facebook Live Fridays. And I'm so excited about this because we have created this so that we're able to share the conversations with people that we have in our living room, that we have here in our community hub of Seeds of Exchange here in Denver. But we want to be able to share these stories with people all over the world. So today I've invited my dear sister, Winter. She's going to join us here. Just one sec. Here she comes. And Winter is going to join us to talk about what is breaking her heart right now in a community in a distant part of the world that has been dear to her heart for a while. And hey, Winter.
Here I am.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So I was just introing.
Oh.
And Winter and I are going to talk a little bit in a moment about how long we've known each other and some of the deep roots of our friendship. She's one of my favorite people in the world. But first, just so you know where we're going in this Facebook Live, we want to tell you that what we're looking to do is share what is breaking her heart, what she is looking to do about this heartbreak with a gift and a passion she has had for many years. And our belief is that and our hope is that it will inspire you to explore the ways that you can kind of riff off of Winter's story and find your story in hers. And we have some ways that you can join the fun of what Winter is up to. I did post it in the description of this feed, and to tell it just at the very beginning, then we'll mention at the end. There's 3 calls to action, 3 ways I'd love to invite you to join if you're excited to do so. One is she just relaunched her beautiful jewelry. I'm wearing one of her pieces, and she is donating 100% of the proceeds of her beautiful art to her dear friends in Indonesia, which she'll tell us about in a minute, between now and the end of the year. And we would also love to ask you to share this video and to like and comment, because that makes Facebook share it themselves and help us be able to put this story out there. And the third piece is we'd love for you to comment below and share what ripples, what are the connections in your own story? What is breaking your heart on a personal level, on a global level? How can we support you? How can we reach out and love on you? What are you doing about it? And I believe that your story will have the ripples Winter's story does and will. And together we can create a really special movement of storytelling, really inspiring people and making a difference. So Winter Wall, thank you for joining.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm old, so I'm learning about Facebook Live. So thank you for learning with me and joining our conversation here. So Winter, first of all, will you share with us kind of what got us on the camera today and on Facebook Live, that email you sent me a couple weeks ago about what was wrecking you and what was breaking your heart? Will you share?
I would love to. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this story. It's so I had the incredible opportunity to live in Banda Aceh, Indonesia after the 2004 tsunami that got a lot of news coverage and was incredibly devastating for not just Indonesia, but about 14 countries in the region. And there have since been several really damaging, deleterious natural disasters and geological kind of devastating events. And just recently in September, the end of September, there was a series of earthquakes that led to another tsunami and has really done incredible damage to the island of Sulawesi, which Indonesia is a bunch of islands. It's this beautiful nation, and Java is the island that most people are familiar with, or Sumatra if you're a coffee lover. And Sulawesi is just to the just west east of both of those islands. It's a smaller island, but at least 2,000 people have been killed. Homes have been devastated. The infrastructure is already weak, and so that level of power that water can bring at that level does incredible damage. Schools, roads, the airport was severely damaged. So even getting aid and relief, not to mention long-term development to the island, is incredibly challenging. And it breaks my heart to not be able to be there right now. That's not what my life opportunity is right now. But it's really frustrating to me that because there is so much noise and so much news, we're getting fed streams 24 hours a day, and somehow it seems like more than that. And these stories and these livelihoods are getting lost kind of in the shuffle of whatever news feed you happen to be connected to or addicted with. But there are stories and people and loves and families and mothers and sons and these people that we can connect with, that I hope to be able to talk about a little bit and just bring to light.
Yeah. So Winter and I have been friends for many years and have talked for many years about, the difference, right, of seeing a news feed of news of a hurricane in a distant, of a tsunami in a distant place. And for me, I know no one there. And so what Winter and I talked about when she sent me this email is, for her, it was news about her family. It was like broke her heart sort of news, because she loves these people. She's been living with these people. She knows their names and knows what they eat and knows what their homes, feel like. And so what we decided to do is to invite you all to hear a little bit about these people and have that like much more connected sense of what it is like, and have that sense of friendship and knowing that comes from hearing the story about someone that they know and love, and then all of a sudden the connection gets made and the distance gets lessened. And the other piece that we were really excited about with this is one of the reasons I tend to shut myself off from news feeds, or just like have to kind of provide a little boundary, is if I don't know anything to do about it, if there's no way I know that I can, like, what can I do besides learn and gather more information. And so one of the things we thought we wanted to provide and invite y'all to do is to hear the story and consider how, this one or two or three ways that we're inviting you to join in. And one is checking out Winter's Etsy store, where she's made beautiful jewelry. I'm wearing a piece, and buying a piece for holidays coming up or birthdays. And she's given 100% of the proceeds to her friends and family in Indonesia. And then we have two other ways you can join in that we'll mention at the end also. But Winter, let's get back. So how old were you when you went to Indonesia? And what caused you to pack your backpack and hop on a plane?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I was 22 and thought I knew a lot more than I did, which I think is the beauty and the trap of being 22. And I remember very vividly seeing on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day of 2004, the videos and the news and the reports of the tsunami, and it was massive. It was bigger than anything I had ever really experienced to that point, as far as a natural disaster is concerned. And I just couldn't imagine what that would be like. You know, whole towns disappeared. You know, the power of the ocean is so just incredible. There aren't words to describe it. And I had been living in Nepal before that, and had learned a little bit about what it meant, you know, when that infrastructure is tenuous, what a natural disaster really does. So in Nepal, it's more mudslides than tsunamis, obviously, just geographically, but I had gotten a little bit of a taste of that and what that meant. And so you know, I just felt really strongly that I could do something. And, you know, I don't, that we can talk about what that looks like and what that means in another discussion. But I did. I packed my backpack and I went. And I connected with a really wonderful organization, an Achinese organization. So it was on the northern tip of Sumatra. And at that time, about 75% of the population had been killed. It's a really heavily fisherman-driven economy, and so a lot of mostly men and you know, fathers and sons had been killed. And so I got to work with incredible women who were trying to figure out what life looks like under Sharia law, where, you know, women have domestic roles, what it looks like to have to provide for their family and have to, you know, do the lion's share of the work, not only domestically, but also economically, to keep their family afloat, if you will. And so we did capacity development training, skills training. We built a wonderful community center with a cafe. So we were doing culinary trainings, and the work was just incredible. And I learned so much. It was the first time I had been in an Islamic state, and I had a lot of preconceived notions about what that meant. And some of it was known and was at the forefront, and some of it was way back, kind of in my subconscious, and things that I had thought that I knew. And that's the beauty of travel and experiencing someone else's story, is those get shattered. And for better or for worse, you know, you grow and expand as much as you're able to welcome people in, the more that you'll be able to grow. So I got in spades what I was able to give.
How long were you there?
I was there about a year. I was supposed to be there 3 months, but as my story generally goes, the best laid plans are just that.
Okay, so then you said that was in 2004?
So I was there 2005 and into 6.
2005 and into 6. So many, many, many years later, this tsunami, this last weekend, and
yes,
2 weekends ago. Is that right?
So yeah, there were some triggering events, but September 28th was the tsunami.
So that happens, and tell us, like, walk us through how that impacted you, both kind of on an emotional level, and then when did it shift to reaching out to me and the people who told me that you, like, kind of tell us how you took this heartbreak and this wrecking in your heart and spirit, and what did you do with it?
Yeah, so
did you hear me?
As many of us, I get news alerts on my phone. So I got a CNN update about the earthquakes that were leading up, and then about the tsunami that hit. And I was stopped dead in my tracks. And I immediately, you know, images were conjured of, you know, mass graves and devastation that is pretty unfathomable in a lot of places. And just seeing, you know, babies separated from their families, and children not able to find their mommies and daddies, and that sort of all of the sudden lack of understanding or belonging really impacts me. and I can hear the voices of friends, and so I immediately start WhatsApping with some of my Indonesian friends, first to make sure that they're okay. And many of them are on Sumatra, and so it's quite far away. And so they were getting, lots of rain, and that has its own issues, but they weren't directly impacted. And so I'm checking on friends that I know that do some work in Sulawesi, and start getting some responses back. And the Indonesian authority, the management authority, the BNPB does a very solid job with that first phase of emergency relief, and the Army was on the ground almost immediately, and there were emergency relief efforts deployed, and there was a lot that was learned in that 2004 tsunami about triaging immediate needs, and then what relief looks like, and then in months we'll be talking about what development looks like. But one of the hardest things about not being in the place is it's easy to feel overwhelmed and disconnected, and like there's nothing that you can do. And I know from just the last 15 years that that's actually not true. There's always something that anyone can do, whether that's financial, which is always helpful. It can feel confusing to know where that money's going. Is it really being utilized? There's more and more understanding of transparency in financial giving and philanthropy, and so it's smart to be cognizant of that, because there's mismanagement and misappropriation in development and relief as much as in any other space. And so it is important to know, be connected and know where your money is going. But when you do, that money is so key. It's so important. And so that's always one way. But there are infinite ways kind of around money that can be supportive, and connecting with communities elsewhere, or Indonesian communities or refugee communities in your own community is an incredible way to connect and really serve and learn and understand what's going on outside of your neighborhood and your community. And so there are ways financially, but also just connecting person to person, whether it's in real life, which is excellent, over tea or coffee, or this way, virtually. I love Skype and Zoom, and there's so many ways to be able to connect now. And so I really encourage people to kind of reach out and get out beyond their immediate circles, because there are so many beautiful circles.
Yeah. Just a quick technical check-in to our viewers. Are you guys hearing everything? Are there any glitches? There's a few on my end. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. If someone would comment, I would so appreciate it. But we're just going to carry on. Can you hear me okay, Winter?
I can hear you.
Yes?
Can you hear me?
Cool. Well, I was hearing there was some glitching with yours, and I'm not sure if it was on mine. Hopefully it's mine. Okay, I see a lot of hearts. I see a lot of perfect. Thank you, Wendy. So Winter, with what was the connecting point for you with exactly what you were just saying, like looking at this need in this community that you know and love and you have personal relationships with, and take us through the cycle of what you were thinking, like, what can I do about it, and just tell us the story, like pull back the veil and show us like how you this and the other things that you're looking to launch on how to love on these friends of yours.
Yes. So, one of the things that I think is really wonderful and connecting is creativity. We all have creativity within us, and learning how to share those gifts is such a wonderful opportunity to connect. And for me, I started winter wear after a brain injury. And so I was learning some skills back, you know, some motor skills and kind of learning how to connect my brain to my hands again. And winter wear was born out of that learning. And so for me, it's a very healing art. And I know in just having conversations with artists and creatives and makers, it has such an incredible healing power, whatever the medium, whether that's, you know, cooking or painting or photography or jewelry making, woodworking, whatever the medium.
Hey, can I interject?
Yes.
Can I interject and read this? I love what you wrote about winter wear. So for those that don't know what winter wear is, may I read your piece? This is Winter's beautiful words. Globally inspired, locally crafted statement jewelry. Welcome to Winter Wear Jewelry. It is my honor to share my globally inspired statement pieces with you. I began creating jewelry after a traumatic brain injury to regain motor function, and in doing so, found a creative outlet that brings me joy and beauty to others. I am inspired by women across the globe, by the colors and textures and vibrancy that can be found around us. So again, now until the end of the year, 100% of your purchase of winter wear jewelry goes to support work in Indonesia now. Thank you for your support. So I just want to pause for a moment and just what I love about the bit that you just shared that so far has nothing to do with Indonesia. This is all your personal journey, a terrible accident that happened that actually fueled and this beautiful social enterprise actually was part of your healing and part of what brought you the vibrancy and flourishing in life that you have now. And I love that. Now you're using that thing that you created initially to help you heal, and now it's reaching out to folks very, very far away. And I think that's super powerful and amazing. So,
yeah, I think we all, you know, I think we all have a gift.
Yeah.
Thank you. First of all,
go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. I think we all have a gift, and I think that the beauty of being human is we get to share those gifts, and they look different for different people, and the gifting, the way that we gift them is as different as we are. And so this is kind of my offering and my love of service, and I want my you know, my healing art to be able to heal those around the globe as much as possible. And you know, I think there's beauty to be found in all spaces and all places. And so I think what I have learned is we can find the connection in those beautiful spaces. And I hope that you know, through this conversation and through other conversations, that we can all think about what gifts we each have inside us, whether that's been realized or not yet, how that gift can be used of service, and how that gift can serve our family, our community, big and small. So it's really exciting to me to be able to have something tangible and made and beautiful to be able to share and spread that beauty. And I think the exciting thing about art and wearable art, jewelry and fashion in particular, is you know, you get to wear it and spread it and start conversations about it wherever you go. And that is such a cool opportunity to be a part of someone's life in a very real, very intimate way. And I hope that we can all think about what, you know, gifts we have and how to serve.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I'm so glad we're recording this, because I'm going to go back and write down some of the nuggets that you just spoke. It's like poetry from my soul. So, so thank you for watching, y'all. And just as a reminder, the three invitations we thought of to get the conversation started, like, let us know what other ideas you have, please, because that's how we roll. but one is, right? The Etsy link is below, and please click on it and look at the beautiful, I mean, beautiful creativity that has come out of this amazing sister of ours. And think about how you could give it as gifts to friends and family in the holiday season or birthday season to come. And then the other two things we wanted to invite you to, and I just saw that Wendy already did this, but if you could share this with friends that you think would be inspired, encouraged, connected, and yeah, tag them below or just share the video with them, and help us to build this amazing circle, this amazing community of ours. And then the third piece is if you would post below and comment below, like, what has been breaking your heart? And it can be on a personal level, like if you feel good enough to be vulnerable, what's been hard lately, how can we love on you and pray for you and send good love and juju your way? And I commit to do that. And Winter is a deeply soulful, spiritual soul as well. So please don't go it alone. If this is a really hard day, maybe that's why you were supposed to hop on here. And that is plenty awesome for us. Like, the whole purpose of this would be met if that's you. So post how we can love on you and serve you below, or if there's something that is breaking your heart that you're now like, I'm gonna start doing something about this. You know, a community that you really love, that you want to brainstorm about how you can do some things for and with. Feel free to private message me if it's private with either of them. And our community loves to support people making the connections that they need to do the stuff that they dream of doing. And I just got this ping. I want to share one last thing. So this Facebook Live that y'all are on is rooted in many years of friendship. And I really want to make sure that that's part of our story, because Winter and I have known each other. How old were you when we met?
I was in the 2nd grade.
Yeah. So let's just be goofy and fun and share the cool connection we have with my husband. Do share how you.
I would love to.
How you first knew and appreciated Dr. Brandon Davison-Tracy.
Well, I would like to share that I loved him first. So this, Brandon and I have a special connection. So he was a resident at the Downing House. You both were. I was in the 2nd and 3rd grade, and we were doing a research project. We got to pick a topic for a research project, and I knew that Brandon was in medical school and he was studying pediatric HIV. And so I did my research project. Other people were doing like bugs and trees, and I did mine on pediatric AIDS and HIV so that I could go over and get tutored and learn. And you borrow books from Dr. Brandon. But in all reality, I have known you both for decades, and it's such a gift how you are and how you live and move and love in this world. And I'm so grateful to know you both and to be able to consider you dear, dear friends. So thank you for what you do and who you are and how you really love people.
Yeah, and I just wanted to end with that, because I just believe, and I know Winter shares this, that no matter how big our dreams, and I think the bigger our dreams, the more, like, the best and worst news, depending on how we're wired, is that we can only get so far alone. And we, like, the best news is it's not all up to you to make it happen. And sometimes that can be really, I don't know, vulnerable, to be like, my lordy Lou, who do I reach out to? Or what are people going to think about this dream of mine? Or do I have what it takes? And if you don't feel that you have what it takes, just know that I think that can be an incredibly awesome starting point, because then you are propelled to reach out. And Winter and I have a gift of many, many decades of friendship. And she and I also have this gift of many brand new friendships that are incredibly vibrant. And so wherever you are in your sense of community, in your sense of roots, of history, of friendship, we just want to have this be an encouragement to do one thing today, to reach out, to connect with a new or old friend. Comment below and share what your experience of community is. Share what your experience of deep roots of friendship or brand new ones. And let's keep the conversation going about how to live this life together. Okay? So, any closing thoughts, Miss Winterlaw?
I'm so encouraged by getting to have this conversation and really excited about the ripples. I love the ripples, and there's so much, that can come from this, so much story and growth, not only talking about Indonesia and what we can do for specific communities, but also how we can use our gifts, big and small, as you say, to really be an agent of change and, women and men of service. So thank you.
Oh, I love you, girl. And thank you all for watching and being a part of this live with us, and for the ones that will watch in the days and months to come, this together. So love you guys, and thank you. Blessings. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.
Bye.